Hey everybody, Rhadamant here for episode, I guess I'll call this episode 3, although it's not exactly going to be episode 3, of Subnautica Below Zero. So before I get going, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Basically, that the last voice log I got was the end of the story that exists in the game right now. That doesn't mean that I have nothing to show you, I do, but after this episode, I'll be going on a little bit of a hiatus for this series until there's more added to the game. So the things I wanted to show you are some of the tools and base building that I hadn't showed yet. So what I'm going to start to do is, I did set up some of the tools so you didn't just have to watch me resource gather. So a beacon is a device that you can deploy and name, and as you can see, it shows up in my beacon manager list like this. And there we go. If you're wondering about the supply drop that I didn't seem to be able to grab because it was underwater, that supply drop was empty. In fact, you shouldn't loot it. It has bugged items in it. If you wanted to loot it, if you hit F3, you can go and enable the developer's console by hitting F3 and then tab to get the cursor. Enable the console, turn that off, hit tilde, and then type free cam. And free cam is a no-clip mode where you separate from your body, which is very strange, yes, but you can clip into objects. So there you have it. That's free cam mode if you need to use it. There's a lot of other developer console commands. You can use Google to look them up. I also made a little bit of a storage. You can change the locker name, so whatever is in this locker, and this will store up to 16 little items. Some of the other devices I haven't yet shown. Propulsion cannon. So this is sort of like the cannon from Half-Life, where you grab onto things and then you can throw them. In fact, it's exactly like Half-Life. So grab onto, let's target something. With right click, now I have a fish. If I shoot it, it's going to be dead by the time I get to it. And here, I now have a dead boomerang. If you're curious about boomerangs, you can then just hit F and release it. And let's see. A dead boomerang compared to a living one doesn't seem to be really any different. Just the dead one is dead. You can also grab things and send them flying into other things. So, if I found a big enough fish to hit with this, I would kill it. There we go. Boom. There's another dead boomerang. Oh no, it survived. But you can kill things with impact damage this way. That is the propulsion cannon. Fun stuff. The grav is even simpler. I just want... Right now, I see that my water is a little low. So I'm going to use the grav ball... grav trap to try to grab some bladderfish. So here's a bladderfish. Oops, I didn't mean to grab it that way. So I released the grav ball, and it just, let's call it magnetically, obviously it's not magnets. It attracts all the fish nearby so that you can just snag them. Pretty easy stuff, and you can recover it by left click. And the grav trap, as far as I know, does not have a battery charge, unlike the propulsion cannon that has a limited amount of charge. Given my lack of water, I'm going to use the grav trap one or two more times on other bladderfish, just to make sure that I have enough water to do what I want to do. I find the grav trap to be more of a novelty than anything else, although it would not be terrible to deal with some crash fish that are annoying and try to blow up in your face when you get close to them. Alright, let's just turn this water in. Nothing like non-vegetarian water. Gross if you ask me. We do have a habitat builder, but I'm going to use that last. The floating air pump is another device I wanted to show. This is also very straightforward. You release it, and it will just float up to the top of the water, like that. And that's not what it's for exactly. Then you take pipes here, and you attach pipes with left... Oh, sorry, did that right. Wrong. Incorrectly. Let's do that again. Drop the pump. Grab your pipe. And now holding the pipe, you can drag this up to about, let's see, 10 meters? 12 meters? 12 meters deep. And then right click and you build it. And I can go another 12 meters if I want. Right click and build it. And that way I can actually get oxygen from up top at the end of the pipe. So that's a good way if you want to live in a cave or something and not an underwater habitat, you can do so with a infinite supply of oxygen. If you ever want to get rid of it, just left click and you break it down. Again, not something I foresee you using a lot, but it could be useful, especially for exploring the really deep depths. If you have a lot of titanium, for whatever reason, you could use the floating air pump to create a source of permanent oxygen at deep depths. Okay, what else is there? Let's go through the entire tool list, make sure I've demonstrated everything. So we've seen the rebreather, the floating air pump's good. Now I need to show the Pathfinder tool. So the Pathfinder tool is also a nifty little tool. What it does, if you are deep within some, let's say, subterranean cavern, and you're worried about getting lost, when you enter the cavern, pretend I'm in a cavern. When you enter the cavern, you right-click, and as you travel, you can just keep right-clicking, and you can release up to 20 of these discs. And I'll show you what these discs do in just a second. So, now that I have a bunch of these discs, they display little arrows here. And all I gotta do is follow these little arrows to get out of whatever underwater cavern I'm in, back to the start, and I can hit F to clear them all. And magically, the discs disappear. I love it. As for the laser cutter and stasis rifle, I need to go and collect more parts of them to be able to display them. So those are the last two tools I haven't touched other than the beacon. But I think at the moment I ought to make myself a battery if I have the resources. Here's a dead battery. That doesn't really help me much. I don't have any raw copper. Let's see, do I have any in storage? I do. Perfect. Alright, and then I was gonna put this into my Sea Glide once the Sea Glide runs out, because inevitably it will. So let's try to go get the remaining science of... Oh, my... There we go. My scanner was out of batteries as well. So I don't have perfect recall. I don't exactly remember where I was getting the parts for the stasis rifle, but I believe it was down here. And there you go. Bunch of angry crash fish. Very territorial fish. Alright, there's a propulsion cannon. Should be on the right track. The stasis rifle is sort of a freeze rifle, if you will. And the laser cutter is the... I guess an oversimplified way of describing it would be the reverse of a repair, the repair tool I have. And I ought to be finding parts of it soon. Then once I showcase those tools, I'll do a little bit of base building. I'm not going to do anything intricate because it's not required yet in the story, and I don't want to get ahead of where the story wants me to be. Because ideally, I would pick this back up once more stuff gets added. And knowing the developer and knowing the pace of development in Subnautica, it will be bi-monthly maybe, or so. Maybe not exactly bi-monthly, but you won't have to wait too long compared to some other early access games, Daisy, where you have to wait forever, and then some. There are so many oxygen plants down here. The risk of running out of oxygen is next to nil. Except for I'm not really finding any of the parts here. So I'm gonna guess they're not really in this biome. So I'm pretty sure I would have seen them otherwise. My sea glide's about to be out. Oh, I didn't demonstrate the air bladder. So all the air bladder does is when you deploy it, it brings you up to the surface more rapidly than if you were swimming manually. So you right click it, and then you'll hear this sort of air bladdery noise, and it helps you surface quicker. So if you were really low underwater and you're running out of oxygen, an air bladder is a very fast way for you to resurface so that you don't suffocate. Alright, looking for a new biome here. We're looking for the bloodwort biome, whatever it's called. It eludes me what exactly its name is. Also should probably grab some bladderfish, if I see any bladderfish. And my sea glide should be out of power any moment now. It's just magically... up there it is. I was going to say it's magically running on nothing, but that would be incorrect. It's dead now. Also wanted to showcase one of the tips I received. I like this one. So, turning any beacon that you don't care about off is a good way to ignore it. And then, even the beacons you like, you should not use orange. Because when new beacons get added to the game, they default to orange. And that way, you can tell new beacons from old ones, because the old ones won't be orange and the new ones will be orange. So if you save orange as a unique color, you won't ever get confused, like I did, about which beacon is which. You should definitely sort of organize your beacons well ahead of time. Alright, if I'm not finding any bladderfish, I'll just find a bunch of other fish and see which ones give me... oh, here we go. Whole bunch of bladderfish. That's what I needed. Because I'm thirsty. I'm going to drink myself some fish. Even more of them? Can't get away from me. You're no gingerbread man. Oh, there's a lot of bladderfish. Alright, that'll be a good amount of water. H2O.
Seek fluid intake.
Yeah, I know, lady. Trying to tell me I'm dehydrated? What do you think I've been doing? I've been grabbing bladderfish. Like it's going out of style. Guess I should head back soon, turn these bladderfish into liquid. But I was hoping to maybe find... Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for.
Oxygen.
Oh, yeah. That oxygen thing I need to breathe. Alright, let's resupply, and then I'll come back. So we are trying to orientate myself compared to the terrain up top. In the first game, there wasn't a lot of topside terrain. There was a big ship wreckage that you could sort of orient yourself to, but it was a little bit harder to do than the terrain. Alright. I would like some sustenance, please. What is fun about a full base is eventually you get to a level of a base where you have water filtration and battery chargers and things like that. Now, a lot of these devices aren't in the game yet, but they were in the original game, so I know they will make it into this one at some point. I like how concerned my HUD is with my current starvation and dehydration. It's like, do something about it, quick.
Stabilizing.
I was never unstable. Don't you be lying to me. Alright, putting away everything we don't necessarily need. So I free up some inventory space. Orient to the mountains. And let's head back to the blood vines. Because I am fairly sure that's where we get the laser rifles from. The laser cutting torches. So you'll know you enter the biome when everything turns this sickly green color. There will also be a new type of fish and some hydrothermal vents. These aren't the new types of fish, by the way. Those are just your standard. But you can hear the hydrothermal vents going off now. It is right here. Don't get too close, it will burn you. It also seems to be cooking the rocks near it. Hence the random raw titanium rather than a rock outcropping. But I'm looking for laser cutter blueprints down here. Also won't mind some oxygen. Or copper. I was low on copper. Low on silver. And this is collection for base building later on. I hope I'm not on a fool's errand, and there's actually blueprints down there, because I see a lot of Sea Glide stuff. God, there's what, 3 Sea Glide right here? Is that necessary? I'm not sure. Alright, let's poke around down here. We're also going to need to seek out some spare oxygen. Oh, there we are. Alright, I'm going to have to resurface fast once I'm done with this.
30 seconds.
Laser cutter!
New blueprint acquired.
Oh, and lucky me, the oxygen plant. I don't need to worry. I might not demo the stasis rifle if I can't find a part for it too quickly, because I don't want to bore you to death.
30 seconds.
I didn't actually see any of the new fish types down there, oddly. But I assure you, there is a new fish. I just didn't see it. Oh, who needs to resurface when you have Titan hole fish? Very cool looking fish. Kind of looks like, what are they called? Sun something fish in real life? Moon, sun? I don't know. I'm not a fisherman. So I'll demo the laser cutter, or at least build one. Guess I could figure out what is needed now. 2 diamonds. Okay, so we need to go back to where those black smokers were. Which is tricky, because I don't have a working memory of where exactly those black smokers are. But what I can do is travel in one direction away from my base, and this is a good way to explore for new biomes. Get out to a certain distance, and then do a big circle. So right now I'm navigating the radii of my circumference, or the radius of my circumference. So I'll travel out, I don't know, 400 maybe? Looks like there's not much beyond... I don't know, here's some black smokers. Here we go, and this is a bone shark. Guess I hadn't done science on bone sharks yet. Cute. Oh, and you reset my science. That's uncute. Bone sharks. They like light sources. Well, that's going to be a problem because I'm not about to put my flashlight away. So we're here for diamonds. There we go. I feel as long as I'm here, I ought to probably collect more than just the bare minimum of what I need. I do have one in storage. I remember finding one before. And then there's also magnetite out here. Yeah, here's some more diamonds. And magnetite is another mineral that I'm going to need. For base design. Oh, nice floating stuff. I might need to go a little bit deeper for the magnetite. That would be my guesstimate. So I'm going to resurface. I am 500 meters from the base. I guess there's no going through that. Alright, we are not finding any more or any different materials down here. Does continue to go downwards though. Alright, I'm going to resurface for air and then make a trip all the way down. Or further down. I don't happen to have a spare battery, so I might need to... Yeah, let me do this now. I'm gonna swap my power Sea Glide battery with my scanner battery because my scanner doesn't need a whole lot of battery. And I don't want to run out of Sea Glide power while down in this abyss. And if I don't find any new sort of materials down here, I know it's basically a bust. Yeah, it's a bust. Alright, I'm not going to find any magnetite down here then. Okie doke. Well, until I actually need it, I might not worry about it. I will need some lead, though. Oh, there's the last stasis rifle fragment I need, I think. Ta-da!
New blueprint acquired.
Nothing like randomly happening upon it. That's always serendipitous. Yeah, let's get back. Let's see what we need for this thing. Computer chip and magnetite. So knowing the game, chances are magnetite should be found pretty close to where you find the blueprint. Because the concept behind that would be, when you unlock the blueprint, you should be in an area that allows you to craft it up as well. So I found it around here. Maybe I can find some magnetite around here. I'm probably looking in the wrong spot, though. I don't think I can find it in these regular outcroppings. I could be wrong. Just to make sure I've done my due diligence, I will check them. Some of them. That doesn't look right. And I'm off in an unbuilt area. I would say approximately 500 meters is the distance that you can travel. Now, if you're really interested in this playthrough so far and you haven't tried the first one, go play the first one. Seriously, it's complete. I jumped on board this a little early because I was excited, but clearly it does require a little bit more development first. Not to say that it isn't fun to just mess around and do a little base building and explore the game, get a handle on things. I'm not currently playing this in VR, but I hear that VR is really, really cool as well for this game. And I can imagine that that would be true. Although there's some enemies that exist in this game I do not want to encounter in VR. That would be scary. Alright. I don't think I'm going to find magnetite down here either. Oh, here's the spinnerfish. I'll get you. Or not. There we go. I grabbed one. Here's a weird fact about Darwin. Pretty much every species that he helped to identify and categorize, he also ate. For science, I suppose. I'm not exactly sure how he avoided all of the poisonous ones, but yeah. I suppose if you're not an idiot and you catch a bright red frog, chances are sticking it in your mouth is not going to lead to a good time. Unless you lick the frog. Alright. Let's not worry about magnetite, because I'm coming up a little short. I might need to do some Google foo to figure out where the magnetite normally is in this game. I could just give myself infinite resources, but that seems to me, that feels a little like cheating, I guess. I mean, it is cheating. Oh, symbiote. If I pick you up, you're going to hurt me, so I'm not going to do that. well, let's make ourselves a laser cutter and then see if we have one magnetite for a stasis rifle, and then we can go ahead and do some simple base building. Just at least lay out a few initial pieces to showcase. Nothing too complex or complicated. Most of the parts probably don't exist in the game yet, whereas the last game, you could have, you know, 3-tiered aquariums, and yeah, I mean, it got pretty intense and complex and really cool. Alright, let's see if the magnetite is in here. Silver, quartz, I've got some lead. No magnetite. Maybe I don't have any. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Fabricator tools. We will make, if we want a laser cutter, we need to grab some of the sulfur. And the stasis rifle needs a battery. I wonder if it needs to be a fresh battery. I think I have some ribbons in my storage here. I do. And we'll cook up some of the spinnerfish. Spinnerfish, pretty good eats, not terrible. Alright, what else do we need for the stasis rifle? A computer chip. So that is coral and copper wire. Copper wire should be easy because I have a lot of copper on me. Do I have coral pieces? It does not appear as if I do, but that's at least very easy to find. No coral in here, no coral. So the tooltip on the laser cutter is penetrating standard titanium doors. So in the first game, you could find like kind of wrecks and wreckages, and you'd be able to cut doors open to be able to access whatever was in the wreck. I'm not entirely sure these laser cutters serve a purpose at the moment. We'll see if they do anything to the coral. No, they don't seem to do anything to this coral, whereas a simple knife does. It might do something to the blood vine that we found. Let's read. If we go to the databank and go to Flora Exploitable, Bloodroot, sorry. Alright, if we find the Bloodroot, we can check to see if the laser cutter helps us to harvest it, I guess. I'm not sure if it will or not. Let me, rather than wander, actually the Bloodroot should be right over here. The vines themselves, no purchase. I think it's actually the sacks that we ought to be looking towards, which is found a little bit deeper, but these might not be collectible yet either. Alright, just with our bare hands, nothing. With a knife, I can stab it, but nothing. With the cutters, nothing. Okay, not harvestable yet. As I suspected, the cutters might not do anything yet. I suppose it's possible it could do some damage to the cargo rocket that we launched. But why you would want to damage your own cargo rocket beats me. So if we wanted to showcase the stasis rifle, we needed a computer chip, and for that we just needed the coral that I already harvested. So let's go home and grab, or craft that up. How some table coral makes a stasis rifle, I have no idea. But then again, these fabricators seem pretty wildly cool. And I don't know how they work either. So we need to make a computer chip, which involves copper wire. Got the copper wire. Got the computer chip. And now we have the stasis rifle. And as the tooltip indicates, it just freezes enemies where they are. Very, very handy tool. I like it a lot. So let's go and freeze. Boom. Stuck in stasis. That's all it does. You can charge it up and launch like a stasis bubble. And that way you can, if aiming, hit things, and as soon as it makes contact, anything inside, very easy to grab. This also requires a whole lot of power. So it's probably a good thing to use when you have a renewable power source. Now, quick little shots don't seem to require as much power as the big ones. But this is also a very good way to get away from medium-sized hostile targets. You're sort of in stasis. You're still moving, though. Alright. As much fun as that is, I could play with that all day long, honestly, but I'm gonna go ahead and cook myself some food. That stasis seems not to be going away. Interesting. Okay, and the last but not least, the habitat tool. So, habitat builder. You left click, or right click when you have it on, and let's set up a foundation first. So I'm gonna need one more lead. Do I have lead? Yes, I do. I think it's in storage. Alright. Plop a foundation down. Seems to be a perfectly fine place. And then hold left click to build. What this allows is the foundation allows for a certain, because for lack of a better term, complexity. So if you can't make, or it's difficult to make a giant tower, I guess is what I should say. Alright, multi-purpose rooms can be plopped onto the foundations, as can scanner rooms. I'm going to want a scanner room as well, but I'm going to first make a multi-purpose room. So if I'm making a multi-purpose room, you can actually lay it out. So as you can see, without the foundation, it doesn't really snap anywhere, right? So it gets snapped to the foundation. And I don't have enough titanium to finish it off, but I can construct some of it. And let me go get some more titanium. Lucky for me, titanium is dime a frickin' dozen. I also ought to move my beacon and move the storage too, because it's going to get in the way. I don't have room for it. Oh, hang on one second. Let's move it out of the way so it's not going to be a problem. There you go, whatever. In whatever, I'll just put copper for now and silver so I know exactly what's in there. So it's not actually whatever anymore. Okay, and then back to the habitat builder. Now we have this unbelievably ugly multi-purpose room. We need a... what do we need? Let's see. Scanner room would be great. Foundation, already have that. Hatch. Hatch would be swell. I think hatches are for... yes, they are. Windows. Tube compartments can be rotated. And then you have vertical connectors. And you've got windows you could add, like this. And I have a bunch of glass hatches you can add that allow you to enter and exit. Let's plop a hatch down. And now we enter the base.
Warning, emergency power only. Oxygen production offline.
So this base isn't really powered yet. And that's why it looks real dark from the outside. I believe the only source of power is these solar panels. And I'm not sure if they can be built underwater, but let's go and try to build some quartz, titanium, and copper. Okay. Easy peasy. Got some copper. I'm gonna add some glass. Got some quartz. Got some titanium. And I don't... maybe this draws power. I can always deconstruct it if I want, if it doesn't work. Oh, it's generating some power.
Power restored.
It has very, very, very little sun.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So here's my lovely little base. From inside, I guess I can also add some interior modules. So what do I want? I want windows. I made all this glass, might as well have some beautiful windows. Now windows lower the durability of your base. So next big thing would be a scanner room. So let's get that online. Is this... okay. So the sun percentage is just because it was nighttime. So that's no big deal. So if I want to make a scanner room... ooh, I'm going to need magnetite. I'll have to figure that out. But I also need a bunch of titanium, which is super easy for me to get, as it's pretty much everywhere. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. No. Honestly, it is definitely the most abundant. And then if I happen across like any old Sea Glide parts, I can always scan them too for good old TI. Finding a lot more copper than I thought I would. Alright, I have enough titanium though already. Hello, my ugly little base. Alright. This works. Ta-da! I have a beautiful scanner room. That comes equipped with a camera drone. So let me demo that. So I'm going to release the camera drone. I don't know what this deal is. That must be... yeah, it's a little bit of a bug, I think. Not to worry. From the inside, it will look normal. There we go. So, if I want to find something specific, like let's say this only scans what's within the radius, but let's just pick something. Limestone chunk. What it's going to do is it's going to pick up every limestone chunk within a certain radius and sort of highlight it for me. So this is a good way, a scanner room is a good way to find rarer resources in more complex biomes automatically. And then you can also connect to your camera drones. So I sort of threw my camera drone 2 out. And this way you can spot limestone chunks without actually having to leave your base. So for instance, I found one here. Oops, I crashed. And there, so now I know where 3 limestone chunks are. And as you scan, it'll pick up more. So let's exit out of that. Kerplunk, and here they are. Exactly where the camera drones say they would be. And for limestone chunks, that's not all that necessary, but if I built this scanning station, if I built it somewhere where there would be rare resources, obviously we'd be able to... oh yeah, and then you can upgrade. So, scan room speed upgrade. I have some silver to do that. Let's go ahead and do that. And then you just scan the surrounding areas even faster. And faster, and faster. It's honestly pretty handy stuff. I like how the schools of fish are swimming right through. Alright, let's see if these upgrades work. There. And then I don't have the magnetite for that. Camera drone streams data from scanner to the HUD. I'd need a computer chip and more magnetite. Okay. And that would show me manually where it is, but I don't have the magnetite. I can go get it, I guess. So that's the scanner room. Is there anything else interesting? Hatches, scanner room. I can put vertical. Might as well do that. I might not be able to do it right now because I don't have connectors on it. Alright, I guess let's... oops, that's not what I meant to do. Grab a little bit more titanium to demo that. I don't think I have any more in here, do I? Not so much. I do have some glass, though. And a battery. Well, I know what to do with the glass. Love me some windows. Oh, I don't think I can add windows at the moment because of a lack of foundation support. That'd be my guess. Let's get that titanium going. I can't enter this section because it's this little tunnel that I made because it was currently under construction. And as a result, it just won't let me in. It's to prevent any weirdness from happening. My hull is going down and down. Alright, let's get some titanium to finish this puppy up. Now all these fragments of everything come in handy. It's pretty quick ways of getting titanium. Okay, that might be enough. Building the last tube. I think I have enough hull strength to get this to the surface. And that would be a good place to put a solar power panel, I think. But oh, why aren't you letting me in there? There we go. Oh, the connector is not a functional tunnel. That's good to know. It'd be... oh, it just connects the base. I see, I see. Nothing lost. And what about Z-axis rotation? Let's see about that real quick. Keyboard. Maybe I can't. Thought I might be able to. It says left brackets. Okay. Is there anything else? There's ladders that can connect floors. So you can have stacked multi-purpose rooms. Some interior stuff like wall lockers for storage, or the furniture that we were able to scan before. But there's not a whole lot else yet. One of the things I was curious about is there a place for me to put my batteries? But I don't even think that exists yet. But as you can see here, we've definitely scanned a whole lot of chunks. Let's do something slightly more rare. Gold outcrop. And this will take a little bit of time. So I think I'm more or less at the end of everything that I think there is to show. If you have any questions for me, I suppose it'd be a good time to drop me a line. This, like I said at the beginning of the episode, will go on a bit of a snooze until there's more content to explore and add. And I hope that there's other videos on my channel that interest you in the meantime. So thank you all for watching. This has been fun to explore early access. February 6th is the current date. Early access of Subnautica Below Zero. And until there is some additional content added to the game, I'll have to say, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Adios.